Hello guys, I'm on this channel. Today we're going to do my first movie review since I came home. We're going to review Pulp Fiction because I watched it yesterday. So, not much to say, but Mission Impossible reviews and Christopher Nolan stuff will be coming soon, maybe some other things. And let's get started. From now on, I'm just going to skip what the movie's about because just to make the video shorter. So, now we have the good. And I think what this movie does so well, or what Tarantino does so well, instead of just following normal movie rules like story, character arcs, you know, you get it. He just breaks all the rules, throws them out the window, and then just relies on like these short stories, and it kind of just does its own thing. And for some reason, it just works. Every scene is just captivating. You're on the edge of your seat, whether it's just some sort of fun moment like the dinner scene or some very tension-filled moment like the whole bit with Bruce Willis and the apartment and with the watch. And as a whole, it just all works. And even though it's not really a cohesive story, I think the best and worst thing about this movie is that it doesn't really make much sense. But at the same time, like, well, I think that's the best and the worst thing. But yeah, it just all works because you're getting to see the day in the life of these characters, and it's told in like a very wacky way, non-linear. And you just see all of them in the whole sort of life of this gangster life told in many different perspectives. And what really sticks out in this movie are not like just the arcs, the big story. It's like the little interactions, like the bit with John Travolta and Uma Thurman, or like the whole little Samuel Jackson bit where he has a moment of God in heaven or whatever. The bit with Bruce Willis and Ving Rhames where they're in that little guitar store or whatever, and if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. Like, so some of those bits and the way it all plays out is just filled with tension, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it all just like works so well. And then some of the individual characters, they're all very distinct. They're very like energetic in many ways. In particular, Samuel Jackson and John Travolta, and like, you just see them, and then you're just kind of fascinated by these characters. Like, and also another thing this movie does, you have it in like the beginning. You can tell a whole story a little bit about McDonald's and fast food, and how in France they don't call it a quarter pound, they call it the Royale with cheese or whatever it's called, and that can just turn into like a bit of a ultra violence in the next 5 minutes. You just kind of have those elements, and then that's just kind of what's so fun about this movie. And overall, Tarantino handles this movie just so well. He's one of my favorite directors. He's probably my third favorite, just behind Spielberg and Scorsese, because he just makes movies that just work for me. Like, they're just fun, they're entertaining, they're relatively rewatchable, and he just creates characters that just work. And he's an artist. He just makes fun characters, even though some of the times the dialogue can be kind of off, and because people don't really talk like that. At least it's my people I know don't talk like that. But in other ways, it's just like, it just adds to it because it's just so like, I don't want to say otherworldly, but his movies don't feel like the everyday kind of life, if you know what I mean. So anyway, yeah, it just works so well. There's not really I can't really put my finger on anything about this movie because like, there's not really any particular like story arc I prefer over any of them. It just all sort of works in general and all kind of combines together. Yeah, but as a whole, like all like the little notes in general just all put together. There are some weird bits, like the whole bit with Samuel L. Jackson and his moment with God. I always thought that part didn't quite work for me. There's also like the Bruce Willis, but that just goes on for a while. But I think you see Tarantino's trademarks: long sneeds, snappy and witty dialogue, just overall like very energetic storytelling, even though there's not much of a story here. And I think his tactics, are probably put up to work here maybe the most out of any of his movies. This are bastards in my opinion. And as a whole, I think it all works. For this movie's final score, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not my favorite movies because I don't think it's like overly rewatchable because like, it's just not a combined story. I think there's other movies I'd rather watch over this one, in particular Django and Bastards, but as a whole, I think it just works, and this is one of his better movies in my opinion, I would say. But I still have to see Kill Bill, Hateful Eight, and Death Proof, so we'll get through those. So yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. See you guys next time. Adios.